This is Learn English with Ease.
English made powerful, simple, and yours.
Hey, can we be really honest with you today? Because if you're here listening to this episode, there's a good chance you're tired. Tired of learning English, tired of feeling stuck, tired of trying, and still feeling like it's not enough. And I just want to say this up front. If that's you, we get it. And you're not weak for feeling that way. You're human. And sometimes, even the things we love can start to feel like a chore.
Yeah, and it happens quietly, right? You used to be excited. You used to open your English notebook with a spark in your heart. You'd listen to podcasts, watch videos, speak to yourself in the mirror. But now, it feels heavy. You can't even open a textbook without that sinking feeling in your stomach. Like, what's the point? I'll never be fluent anyway.
Exactly. And that feeling, that quiet burnout, it's one of the biggest reasons people quit. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because deep down, they've disconnected from why they started in the first place. And that's what we want to talk about today. How do you fall back in love with a language that once lit you up, but now just exhausts you?
Because English is not just vocabulary and grammar. It's emotion. It's identity. It's expression. And when you lose your emotional connection to it, that's when it starts to feel like homework, like pressure, like failure. And you know what? That's not your fault. You've probably been chasing perfection. You've been comparing yourself. You've been trying to speak like a native, sound professional, be perfect. And in that process, you forgot how to just be you, in English.
Yeah. We start learning with joy, and somewhere along the way, we replace that joy with pressure. Instead of, I want to express myself, it becomes, I need to sound perfect. And instead of, I want to connect with others, it turns into, I must memorize 50 phrasal verbs today. That's how we burn out. That's how we fall out of love with the language. We start thinking of English as a test, not a tool.
And here's the truth. You can't hate your way into fluency. You can't pressure yourself into confidence. You can't compare yourself into joy. But you can return. Return to softness. Return to why you started. Return to that part of you that once whispered, I want to speak English because I have something to say.
Let's pause here. Right now, if you're listening, I want you to ask yourself this. Why did I start learning English? Not the reason you wrote in your school essay. Not to pass the IELTS or get a better job. Go deeper. Was it because you wanted to travel? To connect? To express the part of you that feels quiet in your own language? Was it because there was a version of you that only existed in English, and you wanted to meet them?
That line. Let's say it again. There's a version of you that only exists in English, and you want to meet them. That's beautiful. That's personal. That's your real why. And sometimes we just need to reconnect with that. Because the burnout, the pressure, the frustration, it's often a sign that you're disconnected from your own heart.
So how do we get that connection back? We slow down. We stop chasing big goals. We start having small, soulful conversations. We stop watching videos to memorize phrases and start listening to stories that make us feel. We stop studying and start experiencing English, like this podcast. You're here, not just to learn a new word. You're here to feel something, to feel more yourself, in a language that once felt foreign.
Yes. And that's how you fall in love again, by making it gentle, by choosing podcasts over pressure, by talking to yourself in the mirror, not to sound native, but to sound honest, by writing your thoughts in English, not to be perfect, but to be real, by saying, I'm not here to impress anyone, I'm here to reconnect with myself.
Because English isn't just a skill, it's a space where you can think differently, speak differently, feel differently. And if that space has been filled with pressure lately, maybe it's time to clear it out, clean it, light a candle, and make it sacred again.
So if you're tired, please don't give up. Don't walk away from English thinking you've failed. You haven't. You've just grown. And now it's time to meet English again, as the person you are now, not the person who started 5 years ago, not the person who kept chasing fluency like a finish line, but the person who wants softness, truth, connection, in a language that once made them feel seen.
So here's our invitation to you today. Fall in love with English again. Gently. No pressure, no timeline, just return to it. Like an old friend you stopped calling, not because you stopped caring, but because life got loud. Call them back. Speak again, not perfectly, but honestly.
And if this episode helped you breathe a little deeper, if it made you feel less alone in your learning journey, leave a comment and tell us, I'm not tired, I'm returning. Because that simple shift from tired to returning is how you begin again.
You've been listening to Learn English with Ease. And this podcast isn't just about language, it's about healing in English. One gentle conversation at a time.
We love having you here. Subscribe if you haven't. And remember, you're not falling behind. You're just coming back home to your voice.